Jacksonville is a cool area. You get out on the water and you don't realize what metropolis you're in. You can kind of get away, get down some of these side creeks and not even realize that, you know, there's a giant freighter going by a half a mile away from you. And there's a military base, and there's downtown and stadiums. There's so much to this area. It has a great inshore fishing. Offshore is awesome as well, but the inshore fishing with their flounder, their trout, their redfish, their sheep's head, there's a lot that goes on up here. I planned this trip with Nathan. I had no idea what kind of fishing we were going to do. That wasn't even what drew me here. I didn't know if we were going to be fishing inshore or offshore. I just knew the guy fished, and it didn't matter to me. I wanted to come. I wanted to learn who Nathan was. I wanted to learn about his restaurant. So talking with him, you know, it seemed like inshore was the thing to do. It was the time of the year when the flounder fishing was really good. The inshore fishing, the inshore bite was good. So that's kind of what we decided on we were going to do.
We're going to fish along here. You can throw jigs, topwaters, jig and shrimp, anything. You get a mixed bag.
What are we looking for? Redfish?
Flounder, redfish, trout, you know, everything lives on this shoreline.
Are we allowed to be here?
Yeah, most of the time they'll let us fish. If there's something that's like high profile inside the Navy base, sometimes they'll run us off. I mean, this is the main river. The Navy base actually is up there inside, tucked away.
Okay, so if we get arrested, it's your fault.
It's the same time every year. We start getting our first sightings of the mullet run, the finger mullet, and it seems like, you know, the flounder come in from offshore chasing them in the inlet.
So there's a timing thing, it's not year-round?
It's not year-round at all. We catch flounder year-round, but you know, our fall flounder run is based around the mullet run. We're gonna throw artificials this morning and hopefully pick up some finger mullet and be more spot-oriented fishing later in the day. Match the hash with some white gulp curly tails.
There you go.
Flounder fishing was probably the main point of focus I had as a, you know, a 12-year-old to, you know, through my teens before I got heavy into redfish tournaments and stuff like that, you know.
Nice. Is it a flounder?
After school, I had like a 17-foot Wellcraft with a 112 splash on the back, and I would take it with my buddies, and some days we would just whack them and catch 20 to 30 flounder a day. And it's gotten so popular, I think we took it for granted back then because, you know, now it's not a secret anymore. It's you know, you go out, you got to kind of fight for space on the shoreline. Northeast Florida flounder, they're all chasing the mullet through the inlet. They live offshore, you know, the spring and summer of the year. We see them diving out of the wrecks. They'll be everywhere. And then, you know, our first big cold snap, what we had like 2 or 3 weeks ago with the Northeastern, they all come up the inlet and go up into the creeks for the winter time.
You guys get giant ones here.
Yeah, we get them up to 10 pounds, 12 pounds. Every now and then you'll see one 15, maybe once a year. But the majority of our fish are in the 2 to 4 pound class. You know, flounder is so aggressive. You know, they'll eat a bait. You know, this fish right here would eat a 4 or 5 inch mullet. I mean, he'd go after it all day long. I grew up bass fishing, inshore fishing, and offshore fishing. I mean, if it swam, I fished for it, you know. Most kids after school played baseball and football. I went fishing. That's mullet run.
That's crazy. All of it just turned on out there. All jacks.
Jacks, bluefish, ladyfish. There you go. He's gonna get hit right there.
Bloom, 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 bloom. Come.
Oh! Oh, look at it. Oh! Oh!
I tried to take it from him.
Nice. You can't beat that. That's awesome. It's a fun way to start the morning, huh?
Oh yeah. Warm up the old arms.
It's the mullet run. You just gotta love it, man. Get the double.
black button. How do you grab a jack? God, take some kids out here, they'd have a blast on this. This is where you take the hooks off the plugs. It seems like there's little subset areas throughout Jacksonville. Little, you know, this is the little beachy area, and then, you know, this is the fishing village, and this is the downtown area. There seems like there's so many different types of places within Jacksonville itself. Where we're positioned is out on the beaches. Jacksonville Beach, Atlantic Beach, Mayport area. So we're staying out by the coast. You know, it's actually a pretty good distance from the interstate out to the coast, but we're gonna be staying out here at One Ocean, right on the beach. And this area that we're in is like a little beach town. You can start off fishing at the Mayport Jetty, out there catching redfish. And within a half hour, you can run up the river into downtown Jacksonville, and literally dock the boat and get off and see a Jaguars game. And the contrast between the two is absolutely amazing. The difference between the inlet, the Spartina marshes to the downtown, there's so much stuff to see, there's so much variety, it's incredible.
You're fishing around downtown buildings and bridges, and in the middle of the river for the most part is 50 to 60 feet. And you know, down in Stuart and Fort Pierce and places like that, you know, you don't have the same backdrop like you do in Jacksonville.
Within all of this is some world-class inshore fishing for the flounder, especially in this area. Again, so much habitat, so much structure, these old docks that are no longer used. There's so many different areas that you can fish, and all these areas are holding these big flounder. There he is. It's the right one. Fuzzy lap flounder.
Nice flounder.
You start throwing artificials and jig fishing, and you just never know what you're gonna catch. I mean, I hooked a snook first thing in the morning. I'm up in the northern end of where even snook should be, and I jump off this beautiful snook. There he is, there he is. Oh, nice snook! Oh, dude.
Did you find our North Florida elusive
Dude, that
snook?
thing was like this big.
He jumped?
Yeah. That was just the beginning of a huge variety of fish. I think maybe 8 or 10 different species that we caught in one single day. Look at this guy, you can see right through his fins. How cool is that? Pretty little fish. Species list. You're killing it, bro. You grab those things? Oh, you're a brave man.
Trash can slam.
When he hooked that catfish, he took it serious. He didn't want to shake it off. He wanted to get that thing in, really get a grip on it. There ain't no way I'm touching that thing. He grabbed a hold of it. That's when I knew this dude had a seafood background. He's like, that thing would stuck me, and I'd have been feeling it the rest of the day. And those are harsh environments, not only the UV rays, but the salt air. And hook and tackle provides the protection from both. In addition to the protection, it needs to be comfortable and stylish. I can wear whatever I want, and I choose hook and tackle. Check out a local retailer near you. Holy damn, not what I expected in here. You visit a restaurant and you just eat the food. All right. And I don't know how much thought goes into where that's coming from, where that food is sourced from. And it's intriguing when you start to dive into it and to really try to understand what you're eating and where it comes from and who are the people that are providing this food and what it takes to get that from whatever it is, from the farm. Ooh, it's cold in here. From the field, from the ocean to your plate. And to start to sit down and to break that process down, and you start to realize how much goes into it. You know, these fish are coming from all over the world. It's not just Florida that he's sourcing these fish. And every day they're taking orders. Every day they're processing the food. And to realize how much goes into it, it's just mind-boggling. Certain fish at certain times of the year, the water temperature changes and the fat quality goes down. And you know, rather than getting a grouper from this area, you want to get a grouper from that area. And the red snapper are better in this area and the regulations. It seems like, you know, talking to the guys in the industry that have been doing it a very long time, it's a dynamic process. It's ever changing, and they're always trying to stay in front of all these changes. Hey, one fish the rest of your life, which one?
I couldn't pick. I really couldn't.
One, really?
I couldn't pick. I honestly couldn't pick.
If you asked me, it'd be like a ribeye.
Honestly, fresh red snapper. I would take the fresh red snapper.
Talking to Nathan and going to the fish market and realizing what goes in to prepare these. To keep these fish, the meat at the highest quality, that the standards that are kept in place, it almost makes you want to eat more seafood when you go out. You feel more confident. They do so much to provide a high quality product that I just think we take that for granted. But there's so much more on the back end that we don't see.
I know George fishes in Stuart a lot, and it's just a completely different water system. You know, we have 6 to 8 feet of tidal movement, a lot stronger current, and we've had a couple northeasterns already, which is what pushes the flounder in, and the tide is really cranking.
Oh, there he is. Oh, got him on it came off the rock.
Yeah.
That's when he ate it.
Flounder.
Nice one. Flounder are such a great species to target. Where I come from, we don't ever target them. We just don't have the numbers of them. So to come to an area where it's so focused on, it's different for me. I've never gone out and say, I'm gonna target flounder, except when I've come to this area. This area is known for it. It's known for its flounder fishing. It's known for its sheep's head fishing. Ooh, what a bite. What a bite. That's a flounder.
There you go.
Is that eating size?
Yeah. Thumped it, didn't he?
Oh, dude, he whacked it. Oh.
Target acquired.
Yeah, baby. They call me the flounder pounder.
Throw that guy on ice.
So how big do they have to be?
12, he's way legal.
Yeah, that fish is way legal.
You know, the best way to cook those things is fried flounder fillets, or we'll actually score them and fry them whole.
Really?
Or bake them whole. You know, we like to stuff them with crab and bake them as well. I mean, the options are endless, and the fresh flounder is one of my top 5 fish. So I mean, any way you can prepare it is just absolutely delicious.
So that one's gonna be good at the restaurant tonight.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Old Florida Fish House. We just use quality product. We don't do anything fancy. You can get it grilled, blackened, or fried. You know, there's a couple dishes that we stuff, but our whole theme is quality and quantity. We don't do a lot of fancy stuff with the plates. You can bring your family and come and get a lot of bang for your buck and get quality fresh seafood.
The owner of the seafood market told me that he got his start by working for Nathan's grandfather back in the day. So there's obviously some lineage there that Nathan has learned. You know, his father was in the industry as well. So growing up around it, obviously you pick up on these things.
My first memories include my dad being in the restaurant business. Weekends spent, you know, with him working in the restaurant, me waiting for him to get off of work, seeing how hard that he worked to make it successful is really the only way of life that I've ever known.
We're gonna come into the kitchen here and get your fresh caught flounder here.
See one, do one, teach one. And cut his head off.
Yeah. It makes it easy to get the knife down the backbone for me.
This is a good way for me to go to the hospital. My limited time in kitchens, in restaurant kitchen, I've seen the backside, working side, fortunately with the show, a couple times going back into the restaurant and seeing them prepare food. That's a learning experience in and of itself.
Oh, he's doing better than I am.
I don't know about that. To be able to get back there, to watch the chef fillet the fish, how he does it, show me his technique, and I'm mimicking what he's doing and watching the process of breading the fish, you know, frying the fish and blackening the fish and seeing what it takes, what they do every day to prepare this is a learning experience that, you know, I cherish those opportunities to kind of take that information in. Boy, I'd make the guys at CNC so proud of me right now.
Yeah, you would.
God, look at that. I'm thinking about making something out of that.
You can. Make you a pair of shoes or something.
Yeah.
So we'll do one hole here, we'll do like this right here. So we'll blacken this chunk and fry this right here chunk. How about that?
Okay.
We get a product from Lance called Cracker Mill. Is what we like to bread all of our stuff in. So we'll just lay it in here.
So you don't dip it in anything first? Goes right in the breading
goes
first?
right in the breading first.
Okay.
And then we'll hit it with, we use like a salt and white pepper mixture that we use. It's about three-fourths salt and a third of white pepper on it. And we'll just gently sprinkle over it evenly. And then once this right here is done, then we'll take it up here to one of our fry stations. Our oil, we keep it at 400 degrees when we fry our seafood.
Okay.
It gives it a nice crispy texture to it.
So there's no timer here, you're just eyeballing
We
it?
just eyeball it. You know, you get, as you do it for as long as I have, it's just kind of a feel for it. I like mine a little on the crispy side. Especially when it comes to flounder.
Yeah.
And if you want to, you put a basket on top like that and it kind of keeps it down in there. And somehow, some way, when you put it all the way down in there, it gets it crispy a lot easier. All right, so we grab one of our save-a-days here, and we'll take the fish and transfer it to here. And what this does, it'll get any of the excess oil off of the fish that doesn't get transferred to a plate. So you go here, and then you got a finished product there that goes out the window over here. This is like an olive oil and canola blend that we use on all of our grilled fish.
Okay.
And what we'll do, we'll put a nice little thin coat on it like this right here. And then we'll give it a nice coat like this. If you want to put a nice crust on it when you do the blackening, put a little oil on the grill so it doesn't stick, and you just press that down like that there and let it go.
And do you blacken the other side too, or just one side?
Normally I don't. I usually do one side of it.
Okay.
You can do both sides, but when you do both sides, it tends to either get, because the body's got a lot of salt in it, it can get real salty on you.
Okay. When will you flip it? How long?
Usually it takes about, I'd say in about 2 minutes we'll flip it and then we'll cook it from the other side.
Oh, that looks good. God.
You get that nice crust on it like that.
Yeah.
You let it sit there and almost, some people think it's burnt, but really it's not. This is how blackening is supposed to be. It's supposed to have a nice dark crust to it like this, and it's supposed to be done on like a flat top or like in a cast iron skillet.
Okay.
Flounder's a white flaky fish, and cooking it fresh like we just had it at the restaurant, I mean, it's hard to beat. I mean, you can fry it, blacken, pan sear it, stuff it. I mean, there's nothing that you can't do with fresh flounder fillets.
Yummy.
And there you go, blackened flounder.
Order up. I spent the time preparing one meal for the crew and myself. I can't imagine doing that 200, 300, 400 times a night. The time that these guys put in every day, the dedication, the amount of hours that goes into having a successful restaurant is just, it's incredible.
Good food, sir. Thank you, sir.
Being a lifelong fisherman and in the business, it really makes sense to be in the seafood restaurant business because we live and breathe fishing. And now we're including that in our work life and you know, taking what we go out there and catch and then making it available for the people who don't fish.
Gotcha, now that's a mustache.
Here's another one.
Snook.
Talk about something.
Talk about sex, baby. All right, let me get out of your way.